Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this video, I'm looking at the new history of the DC Universe issue 1. Okay, so this is the first issue of the new history of the DC Universe. I went for the background, which is very, very nice. Lots of camera blur shine in there. And I'm hopefully going to get the backgrounds for the other ones because they look very, very cool. And they all seem to match up as well. So we're not going to do a review as such of this one because there's a lot of text in this one. Basically, is Barry Allen is in his study looking around all these kind of artifacts that are laying around. Apparently, he's kind of saying that he's been to several crisis level events, multiverses, all this kind of stuff, and he's going to tell the history of the universe. Um, so there is some interesting things that I've picked up in here that are little Easter eggs. So first of all, we've got Skeets, Starman's Rod, um, Tornado. What's it called? Living Tornado. What was it called? Shade's hat probably there. Um, the Jack-O-Lantern, which is one of the first characters I ever saw for DC. I remember the issue. I think it was a backup story. Might have been in a Super Friends issue, but I remember him being in the swamps with a log cabin, and that's literally all I can remember about it. And I don't know where it is, but yeah. So that kind of okay. So we are retelling the DC universe. We've got the creation of the Antimon. We've got the creation of the Endless. Although they say they're creating the Big Bang, technically speaking, that's true. But if you go through Sandman stuff, the Endless stuff is obviously like been through multiple universes. Um, Spectre, Eclipso, Lucifer, the Guardians, the first Swamp Thing, Arian Immortal, um, Vandal Savage. So yeah, so we go basically we're laying all the groundwork all the way through here. We see the first Shining Knight, we see the second Shining Knight, and then we set to see the Demon Knights from the DC New 52 reboot. I really like the inclusion of that because I really did like Demon Knights. Demon Knights was a good book, at least at the beginning. I'd like to this is what I wanted this book. As I've said before, the continuity for DC at the moment is all over the shop. I want to see something like this. This is going to be useful for people to do stuff. And now we've got all these kind of points in history. Let's see some stories using these characters in these history. Why not? Why can't we have a Viking Prince book? Why can't we all one shot? Why can't we have another Demon Knights book? Um, Rise of Gaul, Frankenstein. Love to see. Uh, Now this is the interesting one. You can't see in the glare. It is Icon in the 1800s. The only reference so far I can find in here of anything from Milestone, but very unexpected that one. That's pretty cool. We've got all of the Western heroes, including my favourite Jonah Hex, of course. Um, Con Gorilla, the Black Hawks. Interesting here, we've got the Sandman stuff where he's been inspired by the original Sandman, which is very, very cool. And then says here that he was bankrolled the resistance efforts, which is again that I don't know if that goes against the recent Sandman miniseries because he was trying to find non-lethal weapons. So I don't know if that's a thing. Um, but there's interesting stuff that is missed out and interesting stuff that is kind of there. Now, this the JSA. We've got um, the Red Lantern, which is obviously from the last Green Lantern miniseries, which is probably one of the few references we actually see for the newer stuff until we get to this page here, which has got all these sidekicks that they did on the new Golden Age, I think it was, that were missing in time or whatever, and they got remembered. Again, I'm not sure if these are being used, but it seems such a shame to see all these characters introduced and not be used. Uncle Sam, again, not from Earth X, from this universe. All the World War II stuff. Haunted Tank, no one of my favourites. I love the concept of Haunted Tank. Um, Justice Society Dark, which I didn't know about. Apparently, I've looked it up, and that's something recent as well. With the first Mr. Miracle, which again is fair enough, but why give him the same costume as the current Mr. Miracle? That just seems silly. Or the Scott Free Mr. Miracle. I don't know why they did that. And then we get the Superman project, which is from um, Doomsday Clock, which is Niles Calder, and the arrival of Martian Manhunter. and the destruction of Krypton. So we've gone all the way through from the beginning of the universe to the destruction of Krypton. Now that's very, very cool. I like we've got solid ideas of who came first, what order, who's available, what character in. We've got Hippolyta as being the first Wonder Woman during the JSA. That's fine. This is the bit that I really loved, is they go through all of the comic books those references made from. And my God, there's so many in here. I mean, there's Legion 89. Please, for God's sake, do us a DC Fights to Legion, please. The 89 to 888 or whatever. But there's so many references here to this happened in this book from 1976. It's like because when New 52 came on, they kind of basically said, "Oh, forget about all that. It's all gone." And now they're kind of like reintegrating all this stuff back into continuity, and it's kind of all weaving through. And I just like the idea that stuff counts from way, way, way back. It's now part of the thing. We've got even got like kind of the Return of Bruce Wayne, his appearances all the way through kind of the timeline. Um, got the formation of the sort of Azrael clan. Um, but yeah, it's just it's just nice to see DC acknowledge their history of books and Shade from the Shade miniseries. I think there's a reference to Starman here and all the Starman series from the like early 1990s, 2000s, which was fantastic. Um, that character needs to come back. Love that character. Um, but yeah, just very, very happy to see all these references to stuff that is included. The All-Star Squadron, all this kind of stuff is just like, because originally when New 52 came along, there was no superheroes at all until Superman came along. Oh, apart from Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, and apart from the World War II stuff. It's right, okay. Get it set down, figure out what the hell's going on with your timeline, and get it done. And this is exactly what they've done here. So this is exactly what I wanted from DC. Very, very happy with it. We've got this destruction of Krypton as the kind of the starting post. This one, as of next issue, obviously we will see all of the kind of the current superheroes, or Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be in issue 2. So issue 2 is going to be probably a lot more relevant to what's going on now. But to have this groundwork laid in there, that is fantastic. So there you go. So hopefully issue 2 we should be on pretty sharpish. Hopefully by issue 4 we've got Legion and all of the kind of the stuff in the far future stuff. I just really, really did like this book. So there you go. Anyway, that's enough for now. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.